Hi, today we're going to talk about Objective 10.2. Describe the tissue composition and general function of each of the four layers of the alimentary canal. The alimentary canal is another name for the digestive system. So picture mouth, esophagus, stomach, all the way through the small and large intestine. That whole tract is made of the same four tissue layers you can see over here. This is a different view of them. So in here, the lumen, this would be like the inside of the stomach or the inside of one of the intestines, and then we can see the same four tissue layers going out. And this is my version of that we're going to use today. So orient yourself to where the food would be, and then the four layers going out. We're going to talk about the mucosa first. The mucosa is the innermost layer, and it is made of three sublayers. You can see them right here. The first is epithelium, normally simple columnar epithelial cells with lots of mucus-secreting goblet cells. And then if you remember, epithelial tissue is avascular. So it always has a connective tissue membrane called the lamina propria. The connective tissue holds the blood vessels, the lymphatic vessels, and the nerves. You remember MALT from the immune system, MALT, mucosa-associated lymphoid tissue? We can find that right here in this connective tissue layer as well. And then finally, an outer muscular layer, the muscularis mucosa, that helps to enhance absorption and secretion. And I want to highlight the functions of the mucosa. Main function is to be able to secrete mucus. We talked about how the epithelium houses the mucus-secreting cells. And it also will secrete other things like digestive enzymes and hormones to help break food down. After the food is broken down, it needs to be absorbed. The mucosa helps with absorption into the blood, and again, the blood vessels found in that connective tissue layer. And then protecting the body. I want you to think about how the digestive tract is actually exposed to the outside of your body. Like picture your mouth through anus. It's a tube that runs basically from the outside to the outside. So it's a perfect place for pathogens to be able to get in. The immune system is really important for keeping us safe. Next, we'll talk about the submucosa. The submucosa is made of areolar connective tissue, and it doesn't have any sublayers. So it's literally just connective tissue and some elastic fibers. The elastic fibers allow the organs to be able to expand and then go back to their normal shape. Have you ever had the experience of eating too much food and then you have like a food baby, and then after a while your stomach goes down? That's thanks to your elastic fibers in your submucosa. And just like you'd expect, this connective tissue is holding even more blood vessels, lymph vessels, and nerves to serve the whole digestive tract. The third layer is the muscularis externa, also known as the muscularis. It's made of an inner layer of circular muscle and an outer layer of longitudinal muscle. I tried to draw it over here. So the circular layer, the muscle fibers are like long and they would extend as a whole circle. The longitudinal layer, they're perpendicular. So it's like if you cut it right here and looked at the end, these little circles are like the end of each muscle fiber cell. Having the muscles run in opposite directions help make contraction stronger. That's important because this layer is responsible for segmentation and peristalsis. Also, in some places, the circular layer thickens, forming sphincters. Sphincters are valves that help prevent backflow and help control the passage of food through the digestive system. Finally, we have the serosa. The serosa is the outermost layer, and it's also known as the visceral peritoneum. The peritoneum is a membrane that covers the external surfaces of digestive organs. It basically helps hold everything together. So we have more connective tissue and then epithelium on the very most outside. So epithelium on the inside, epithelium on the outside, binding everything together. I can't advance my PowerPoint slide. And here's the same picture from before. Bernard wanted to say hi to you guys. And I also did a sketch just so we can kind of notice like all the places where connective tissue and smooth muscle cells are repeated. Here is the book version. Spend some time looking at this, try to compare it to the simple version we did. And here's the book version with everything labeled. I also want to recommend that you watch this video on YouTube. It helps really visualize like how the lymphatic system and the immune system work within the digestive system. And as always, I want to know what questions you have. Please email me, or there is a special discussion post on Canvas where you can post your questions. Thanks, guys.